Hey, good morning and welcome to Mornings with Mike. It is Monday morning. It's early here. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but I hope your day has started off absolutely fantastic. I'm going to click right over there. So, good morning. And what I do here each Monday morning on Mornings with Mike is I share some scripture from the New Living Translation here of the Bible. We talk about it, we get all fired up and pumped up, and we get rolling. Also, one quick note, this stream is always sponsored by StreamYard, and StreamYard is the best way for you to be able to get your message out. If you want to share across multiple platforms and you've got a video, you've got messages to go. Yeah, well, enough about that. So this morning, I am getting into the book of Exodus. Matt and I, on our Friday night show, which is called Friday Night Fire, you can find that right here on the channel. You can surf through and find the playlist. I have two different playlists for Friday Night Fire. We've been talking about the book of Exodus recently, and this piece of scripture, when we were talking about it Friday night, like I got all fired up, hence the name Friday Night Fire, and was just excited to explore this more. And it's been speaking to me all weekend long, so I thought I would share it with you this morning. And in Exodus 3:11, so kind of to set this up a little bit, what's happening, this is where Moses sees the burning bush. He sees the angel of God. He's talking to God in the burning bush, and at the base of Mount Sinai there, and he says, okay, well, God says, well, you got to go into Egypt, right? You got to go talk to Pharaoh. You have to let him know that I'm not happy about how he's treating people. And so this is where Exodus 3:11 picks up. And it says, but Moses protested to God, who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people out of Egypt? So it's such a simple, straightforward statement. They're having this conversation, right? And God says, look, here's the direction. Moses says, okay, got it. So I'm supposed to go in, I'm supposed to lead the people out of Egypt, I'm supposed to have a conversation with Pharaoh. Like, he repeats the message, he repeats what the task at hand is, and then he says, yeah, no, I'm not going to go. Who am I to do that? Right? And so this is why it spoke to me, is like we all end up in that place from time to time where we say, well, who am I? Why are you choosing me, God? Why are you putting me in this position? And I know that I've been in that position. I'm sure you've been in that position where like we all felt inadequate, where we feel like there's a better choice. We know that there's somebody else that might be more qualified. We know that there's somebody else that might be in a better position when God is calling us and saying, hey, here's where you're headed. Here's what you need to do. And like deep down, we know when he's speaking to us. But for some reason, we do what Moses did right here and we say, well, who am I? You must not be talking to me. You must be talking to my neighbor, right? And so it's interesting in this section of the Bible, and I shared this on Friday night also, where Moses is a reluctant candidate of God, right? First off, Moses is saying, who, me? Why am I going? I'm nobody. And I'm just going to share this one piece. God's simple response is, I'll go with you. Literally in the following verse, God answered, I'll be with you, and this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you, right? And then he goes on to have this conversation with Moses. So we often are reluctant. We throw these walls up of like, well, why am I supposed to be the one going? Are you sure that you're talking to me? It can't be me, right? And we repeat it to God. Like we know the calling. We repeat to him, yeah, okay, heard you, God. And then, like, who are we to know better than what God has planned for us? That's the other thing, is like, doesn't that seem like arrogant and selfish to say, well, I'm not sure that it's me, because we don't see ourselves as the best person to go. Like in this case, Moses doesn't even see himself as the best leader for the task. But keep in mind, just consider this. God often calls the most unlikely people to accomplish his greatest tasks. When God is speaking to us, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what time it is. He knows exactly who you and I are. Right? Like in this case, he's calling an 80-year-old exiled shepherd to rescue slaves from the hands of the world's most powerful leader at the time, Pharaoh, right? And that's a daunting task. So Moses is like, well, who am I? And I encourage you to remind those simple words in the following verse this morning where God just speaks to us and he says, I'll be with you. God's power is sufficient to accomplish that. God's power is sufficient to be behind you, moving you forward. God's power is sufficient to be lifting you up. That's God's response to all of us. That's God's response. It's one of those things I feel like I'm supposed to be telling you this morning, that God is reminding you, I'll be with you. So I encourage you, whatever tasks you're ready to approach this week, whatever it is that God is calling you to do today or this week or in the next 6 months or this year, right? Whatever it is that God is speaking to you, and you know in your heart, this is the thing. When you start to throw up those barriers, the barriers for yourself, right? When you start to bring those things in your way, I remind you of this. God's with you. So with that, I thank you, my friends, for joining me this morning. Like I said, I hope your day has started off great. I hope your week is fantastic. I hope it's been a great first quarter, I guess, to this year. We're already cruising along. Do me a favor. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that if you are new here, click that subscribe button. If this is a message that you know, man, I want to be able to hear this again later, mark it. If you know somebody that could stand to hear this message, they need it today. Just a reminder that God is with them. Share this message. Thank you all so much. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day and the rest of this week. And I will talk to you soon, everybody. God bless you all.